All right, so here's a graph of conforming 30-year fixed rate loans. And to put this into perspective for all you young bucks out there, rates, my friends, as Tony the Tiger said, if you can't sell these rates right now, I promise you Costco is hiring washouts that will hand out small portions of quiche or falafel breads. 18 bucks an hour, not a bad gig. Now, I have a proclamation for loan officers out there. I declare a moratorium on about the market effective immediately, and said proclamation will end on and not before November 9th, 2022 at 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, or to put that another way, the day after the midterm elections. And I say this because you're going to get a shovel full of stuff to out before that date from both sides of the aisle. So just stay focused, people. Stay focused.
Oh, good, I can't maneuver. Stay on target.
Home prices are falling in 98 major housing markets, with only 50 markets still holding on to peak values.
Stay on target.
Among the 148 major regional housing markets tracked by John Burns Real Estate Consulting, 98 markets have seen home values fall from their 2022 peaks. In 11 markets, the Burns Home Value Index has already dropped by more than 5%. Simply put, the U.S. home price correction is sharper and more widespread than previously thought.
Stay on target.
According to CoreLogic, mortgage fraud risk is increasing amid the slowing real estate market.
I don't know. I mean, kind of makes sense. But understand what they're saying here, guys. They're saying risk, not actual fraud. It's kind of like saying there's a higher risk of drunk driving from people leaving the pub at 1 o'clock in the morning. We don't know if you have a designated driver or not now, do we? It's a calculated assumption that is probably true, but you don't know, do ya? So let me ask you this. Things are getting more difficult in lending right now, aren't they? Are you more inclined to commit fraud? If so, I mean, my God, just get it over with and go rob a bank.
Stay on target.
Income fraud risk remains a top concern for lenders, but there's a rising focus on property value risk as home prices slow their growth and homes are taking longer to sell.
Stay on target.
Said Bridget Berg, principal at Industry and Fraud Solutions at CoreLogic. Quote, our most predictive flags for both income and property frauds increased more than 20% in the last year.
So what they're saying is when things get tough, yeah, all lenders are just a bunch of cheats and liars. That's what they're saying, not me. I don't believe it at all. I was a lender just like you. In other news, affordability decreased for first-time homebuyers, which comes as a surprise to absolutely nobody in the world. This in spite of the fact that prices are dropping.
Though inventory was up, the combination of climbing list prices and still stagnant wages means that more borrowers are struggling to afford the homes that are on the market. And all of this comes at a time when mortgage rates topped 5.5%.
And we all know that Fed Chair Powell is going to go all Tony Montana with the Fed rate and the Fed balance sheet.
Stay on target.
That's with them shooting the gun from Scarface.
Stay on target.
Meaning, what's not affordable today is going to be even less affordable tomorrow.
Stay on target.
Quote, average asking prices crept higher again in the second quarter. Paired with wages that aren't keeping up with inflation, homes became less affordable, so says a report from NerdWallet author Elizabeth Renter. A long-held rule of thumb is that home shoppers should look at properties priced roughly 3 times their income. That has become nearly impossible for many people.
Stay on target.
Now just remember, my dear loan officers, as Teddy Roosevelt once waxed and waned so poetically, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Do that, my dear loan officers, and always remember. You know, listen, guys, we're having conversations with people all the time about where they're working and what's going on right now, particularly in the broker space where it's so much drama. Anyways, thinking is this. If you guys want to have a conversation about good options on the table, we bring no dog to the fight on this one. We just want to have a conversation. If you do, that is. And it will be completely anonymous between us and you. So let's have that conversation to see if there's great fits for you. All you have to do is click this banner right over there and we'll reach out to you.